Constable Rosen from Precinct One is joining us here on the Roula and Ryan Show to give our neighbors who are in those more, vulnerable areas a lot of information. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are y'all this morning?
Feeling
a little bit better than yesterday.
A lot more calm.
I feel sad. I feel bad to feel relieved, Constable Rosen, but at the same time, I know a lot of Houstonians have taken a sigh of relief, thinking, oh my God, we just got so lucky. But there are some of our neighbors that are listening to the Roula and Ryan Show. They're not out of the woods, that's for sure. There are mandatory evacuations in Galveston and voluntary evacuations in so many of our coastal areas. So what do you want people to know, Constable Rosen, about their safety over the next 24 hours?
Well, it's the most important thing you can do is obviously listen to what weather forecasters and local leaders are saying, people that are with the offices of emergency management and things of that nature, because it is important. This is a very serious storm coming in, and thankfully, you're right. We're going to be on the clean side of most of it. We hope. Until it happens, I'm always very cautious to wave the flag and say we're great. I want to just be very cautious and continue to watch. But heed the warnings, because this is coming in, and this storm has intensified immensely over the last 24 hours, and there's going to be some very catastrophic damage wherever this storm actually comes in. So pay attention, listen to your local forecasters, listen to your local radio shows, because they're always giving good information as well, and heed the warnings of local leaders, law enforcement, first responders, and things like that.
Well, the different areas in Houston, Constable Rosen, are, I guess I would say, are y'all one big unit when it comes to repairing those high water vehicles? Or how does that work? Because if we don't need to use the high water vehicles for our area, what happens to them?
Well, we are a mutual aid agency, just as other law enforcement and firefighters are. And so the most important thing is we're going to be helpful to any area that needs our assistance. During Hurricane Harvey, there were so many people, the Cajun Navy and everyday citizens that came out and assisted us. So we feel like we need to play it forward. And so we're reaching out to Jefferson County and the Beaumont area and the Sabine Pass and Orange and things like that to make sure if they have a need, we'll send over resources.
So the Cajun Navy gets their pay it back, right? I mean, we pay them back, because the Cajun Navy really saved a lot of people during Harvey.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So
really,
you're not just sending the equipment over, you're actually sending the people as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. We owe it to, we are just one big community, whether we're in Harris County or in Jefferson County or anywhere else. So if they need help and they're in a crisis, we're going to go over and help. It's just part of what we were sworn to do. And so I believe deeply in it, because I got to see firsthand during Hurricane Harvey the assistance that they provided us. And we couldn't have made it without the help of neighboring counties and resources. There were over 800 federal agents that were sworn in Harris County during Hurricane Harvey to enforce local law. Wow. We couldn't have made it without that assistance. So we believe very strongly that we should play it forward.
Constable Rosen on the Roula and Ryan Show and 104.1 KRBE. I feel like with every storm that comes through our area, Constable Rosen, we learned something from the last one, and we better things for the next one. So what do you see is improved now for this impending storm and future storms that we probably weren't 100% with by Harvey? Yeah. When Harvey happened.
Yeah, I mean, Harvey was such a game changer that it forced every first responding agency to look at all of their assets, look at the training provided to the members of the departments, and do a more coordinated effort on training and equipment and things of that nature. We have actually purchased 4 additional boats. Some of which are really unique boats because they can go into very, very shallow water.
Oh, nice.
And which we found during Harvey, we would go through these neighborhoods in boats, and you would be in deep water, and then you go into very shallow water. Well, the boats didn't like the shallow water.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah, we found some unique equipment that can go over logs, boats that can go over like logs or trees that have fallen in the street. Just real unique equipment, specialized equipment. And then we've gone and had 30 members of our department to be swiftwater rescue trained. So they had to go to New Braunfels, and they had some extensive training and are now certified in that. So, all these force multipliers that again, will help not only our region and our community, but in the event that our neighboring communities need it, we're going to be there to help too. So there's been tremendous coordination. There's been new training and certifications, and then of course there's more assets that have been allocated towards high water rescue.
I like to hear that.
We are very, very prepared, and I believe that Harvey the benefactor of Harvey was the fact that it focused us in a very unique way of seeing where our vulnerabilities were, and it helped us become just more resilient.
Well, if you ever need volunteers for somebody, I know Special K loves water. He could be one of the drowning victims, and you could try and save him.
He swims in circles.
I have my boating license, by the way, so I'm certified.
Great.
Can you be a deputy? Can you put him as a deputy dog?
Yes, Constable Alan Rosen's going to call Special K first because Kevin likes water.
As long as he brings some donuts, we gotta have that.
Some donuts. They're going to be keto donuts.
Keto
donuts. Now I'm in for that. I'm in for the keto donut. Absolutely.
I did want to ask you.
People.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you. It's more of a serious question, though. And do you worry about, in some of these areas that might be impacted? Do you have to be concerned about looting?
Absolutely. Yes. And in fact, that was a major role of our federal partners during Harvey was looting. We were concerned about gun stores. We were concerned about, various stores. So we had to allocate a lot of resources to protect those stores from looting. And that's where the major role is. And of course, there's increased penalties for people that break the law in a region that has been declared a disaster. So there's enhancements to the criminal penalties when you're in an area of a disaster and you commit crimes. So we did a lot of that. They're going to have a need for that where this storm hits. My guess is with this wind is there's going to be a lot of power outages, and there's going to be a lot of problems, with regards to that. So they're going to need the law enforcement help. They're going to need people to be over there. Looting was always a problem when you get out there, because the criminal element comes out and says you takes advantage of a bad situation. So, you have to have a plan, and we have a plan. If this storm was going to hit us, about protecting those vulnerable stores where people can get things such as guns and things like that. Mm-hmm. That was always very important to us.
Yeah, and Constable Alan Rosen.
So, you have to plan for all that.
That's a good point, because I know as from a business owning family perspective of it, as the point was yesterday, a lot of businesses are going to close tonight or tomorrow, and a lot of business owners are nervous about leaving their businesses closed because if the power goes out or somebody just, there's always some dirtbag somewhere looking to break some glass and get something free.
Yeah. And if the power's out and there's no alarms to trigger, then that's a problem as well.
So, fortunately for us, the storm has sidestepped us, thankfully, to the east, but that is a concern for those areas in our listening area, because it's so far and wide, that could be something. So I'm glad you guys have the law enforcement already on top of that. Constable Alan Rosen, thank you so much for joining us here on the Roula and Ryan Show.